So I have new makeup to show off. Ooh! This is the Urban Decay Full Spectrum palette, which is the latest palette that they've just released. And I managed to snag one on what they say is an early release. This is the outside packaging, just the box with, you know, the typical kind of broken eyeshadow thing that they like to do. Nice looking box, but in all honesty, this is the part that you're going to throw away. I just wanted you guys to get a chance to see exactly what it was that you're going to be pulling out of your package if you happen to order it from Urban Decay like I did, and what you'll see in the store. Now let's go ahead and take the palette out of the package and get rid of the box. And there it is. This lovely packaging. A little bit of texture on the outside. It is striped across. Doesn't meet all the way down, but it does have a little bit of a texture, which is a little bit unusual for Urban Decay. They've usually got, at least the palettes that I've got from them, most of them seem to be just a flat color. But this one does have a little bit of texture to it, and it does seem to pick up fingerprints pretty easily, just so you are aware. And of course, because of the texture, it is going to pick up dust. There is some box schmutz on it. The logo is their typical like jeweled UD, and then it says Full Spectrum on the bottom. Nice and rainbow colored. It's actually really pretty. I love that. This is devoid of the button that you get on a lot of the larger Urban Decay palettes, which is okay. You just kind of grab that little nub in there and pop it open. There's all my fingerprints on the bottom because that's nice and shiny. This is where all the line work kind of runs onto the edges, and it does this on both sides. You'll see when I turn it around, you'll see that that kind of moves over to the other side, but it's not quite as heavy on the other side because the lines don't finish all the way over. But it's nice and textured. It's still a matte color. I like it. I think it's not a bad looking case. Very simple, but very pretty. I like it. Now let's pop this puppy open and take a look at all the pretty colors. All the pretty colors. Okay, just so you know, there are not a whole lot of mattes in there. There is a white shade in there that is a matte color. It is a little chalky, as you'll see soon, and that is Bump. And that's right down there on the right-hand side by the brush. That is really the only matte color in here. There's some metallics, there's some shimmers, but really not a whole lot of matte colors to be had, although there is a really nice selection of colors in this. Obviously, it seems to go by row, so you'll see, you know, it kind of builds up as you go, the shine. Most of your shine is going to be on those bottom colors. Your lowest amount of pigment is also going to be on those bottom colors, with the exception of Bump, which is the white color. Most of these other ones, especially somehow the middle row, seem to be very, very pigmented and very, very bright. These are not really, they didn't pop up on my camera true to the palette, but you guys will get to see swatches in just a moment, and you'll get to see what they actually look like. There's a nice little brush. Let's go ahead and get that brush out of that little packaging so you can get a better look. It does say Full Spectrum in a rainbow color on the side. And obviously it is a double-sided brush. It's a little bit smaller than a lot of the brushes that Urban Decay gives you. But there is your smaller end of the brush. And there's the fluffy end. It's not a great brush, but it will do if that's all you've got. Okay, this is the first row, and just so you know, the right-hand side was done with the brush, and the left-hand side was done with a finger. This palette was very obviously designed to be done with a brush. I am not happy with the pigment on these colors. These are the red colors. You've got Alchemy, Gossip, and Paranoia. Not the most pigmented colors. I was a little disappointed because they are very bright in the palette. but not so pigmented on the hand. These are Warning, Seas, and Jones. Again, not very pigmented. I'm a little disappointed in it. Warning seems to be the heaviest pigmented on there. These are nice orange tones, and I was expecting a lot out of these, and I didn't get it. They are very smooth. They are a little chalky, just so you know. But they went on nicely. These are Midnight Blaze, Calavera, and Goldmine. I really, really like Calavera. That's that bright yellow in the middle. I am loving that. The Midnight Blaze has some gold flecks in it, so this is obviously the yellow portion. Pigment is starting to get a lot better. It gets better as it goes through. This one I'm in love with. These are 100, Hater, and Mean. Hater is another one. I don't know if that's Hater or Hatter. It's Hatter. We're going to go with Hatter. I really like that color. It is such a nice pop of green, and I wish I had it the other day for that Halloween eye look that I did. These are Minx, Blindsided, and Metamorphosis. Blindsided, just so you know, beautiful color. It stains. Metamorphosis is probably my favorite color out of the whole palette, to be honest with you. That's the one on the bottom there. But be aware that Blindsided does stain. I realized that when I went to wipe my hand off, and I will show you that right here. It does come off, but it took a little bit of scrubbing, so I'm not sure how well that's going to work out on the eye. Make sure to use it with primer. It'll probably help. These are Delirious, Sketch, and Faded. Also not a bad set of colors. These were a little splotchy, especially Delirious. That was a little bit splotchy. I had to work with a little bit. It did go on pretty well. Definitely use a brush with this one. And these are Platonic, Iced, and Bump. As you can see, Bump is a little bit chalky. And it was also not the smoothest color. These were a little splotchy as well. Again, if you use the brush and you work with it a little, they do go on a little bit better, but I am a little bit disappointed in these colors. Okay, and just for a minute, I want to go back to this just to give my final thoughts on it. I like the palette. I really do. It's not my favorite palette that Urban Decay has ever put out. I don't know if they changed their formula for this one or what it is that they did, but I thought those first two rows of colors were not very pigmented. I didn't think all the shades in the purple area were very pigmented. Too many of them were splotchy. All of them were very chalky. There's going to definitely be a fallout issue with these. It's something I can definitely deal with as far as the fallout, especially since I know it's going to be there. I would definitely use a tissue with it, but this was not, in my opinion, the best done Urban Decay palette. I definitely think they can do better. When I opened up this palette and I saw the colors, I was so excited, especially the oranges and the pinks, and they were so great. And it was like that one green color, what is it, Hatter, and then Calavera, which was that yellow. They were so bright and they were so pigmented, and that's what I was expecting from this palette. I was expecting most of these colors to come out looking like that. You know, like Metamorphosis, that was a great color. But the rest of these colors were a lot more muted than they appeared to be. And obviously, was you need a brush for these. When I was swatching with my finger, I was so surprised to see how splotchy and how unpigmented they were when I did them with my finger. But it was a completely different story when I used a brush, which is, I don't know, it just seems weird to me for some reason. It seems like it would be the other way around, but it wasn't with this particular palette. Like I said, I like the colors. I like the fact that it's not just a bunch of nudes. It's a different palette. I mean, it's definitely something a little bit more unique, something a little bit more different, but I think they could have done a better job with the formula, especially. Too much chalk, too much splotchiness, and I kind of like having the option of being able to use my fingers to put some of this stuff on. And I know with this palette that if I use my finger, it's not going to be as pigmented as it would be if I used my brush. And I'm also kind of wondering, how is it going to react with my other brushes? If this is how it's reacting with my fingers, how is it going to react with my other brushes? So I'm kind of a little tentative about this. I really had high hopes, and I may have pumped myself up a little too high for these. I mean, we do that. We see this great makeup, and we see it, and it's the perfect thing, and we've never seen anything like it before, and we absolutely love it, and we want it to be everything, and we want it to be our world. And then you get it open, and it's not. And this palette is okay. It's just okay. I have a lot of stuff from Urban Decay. Urban Decay is like definitely in my top 5 of makeup brands. So I have a lot of stuff from Urban Decay. This did not meet my expectations. It just didn't meet my expectations. Like I said, I like it, and I definitely plan on using it. But it's not my favorite Urban Decay palette. It's just not. That's all I have to say about it. And for the bonus round, the other day I told you I was getting another one of those Butter London, I forget what these are called. It's the eye gloss, I think is what it's called. And this one is in Oil Slick, and it actually finally got here. Actually got here the same day as my Urban Decay palette. So this is what that looks like. I am in love with this. This did not show up real well on camera. You'll see in the, you'll see when I do the swatch of this, it comes out kind of looking like a bruised red. And when I was looking at it in person, it was more of a purple. So it's sort of like one of those color changing kind of, it can be blue, it can be purple, it can be red, depending on how you look at it sort of thing. But I really do like this color. However, it is so glittery. Even when I washed my hands off, the glitter, I still have glitter on the back of my hand right now. So it is very, very glittery, and that glitter will stay with you for the rest of your life. The rest of your life. And I knew this when I did it in the store, because I swatched this in the store before I went ahead and bought it. Yeah, the glitter factory. But if you don't mind the glitter, this is actually not a bad color. I am so excited to wear this one. I can't wait. I really can't wait. This was such a great line. If you guys like this video, please like, comment, and subscribe. I do try to make at least 1 video every week. 2 if I'm feeling good. And I will see you guys next time. Bye.